Hey again everybody, a little update for tonight. I just made one part. This is the adapter that will go into the elbow here that's threaded 3/16 inch 40 model taper pipe MTP, and the adapter will go inside that, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and silver solder that in so it's a permanent connection. But I made this male end is so you can see that, there we go. That's 3/16 inch 40 model taper pipe. I cut that with my tailstock die holder. Then I reversed this around. It's a piece of 5/16 inch brass. I cut a shoulder before reversing anything. I cut this little shoulder so there'd be clearance for the nut, and that's a 1/4 inch diameter. And then I cut it off the proper length, reversed it. I used a reamer in the 1/8 inch hole in the center to hold the fitting aligned while I tightened up the 5C collet chuck. And then all I had to do was use the tailstock, or I used the drill in the tailstock to cut the cone, and then I used the tailstock die holder to cut the 5/16 inch 40 threads here where my thumb is tapping. So made that part tonight. That'll fit together in this, and the whole idea is, like I said, I'll probably just go ahead and silver solder that in to make one less connection to worry about. But the idea is that once I figure out how all these things are going to be located, I'll cut this copper tube off, the blower tube, which is 3/16 inch copper. I'm going to cut it off somewhere around here, and then thread it, the 3/16 inch 40 model taper pipe, and then I'll be able to thread on this fitting. I can just thread it on, put a little sealer on there. You can't really see the threads, but thread it on with the adapter, and then it'll be in position somewhere around here, and I'll be able to run my other pipe, my copper tube, up to the blower line, to the blower valve that'll be in that hole. So I hope that makes sense. It'll become more apparent in the next few episodes. The reason I wanted to do that, though, and just cut and put the pipe threads on here, is that way there'll be nothing encumbering this pipe, that I'll be able to, if I ever have to remove it, I'll be able to remove it pretty easily. Let me walk over to the forward end of the locomotive and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there's the steam lines coming out of the steam header that's connected to the throttle. This is the blower line here, and it's got the bend in it. It's got a little fitting on here that I made, and then another elbow, and then it's very solid over the exhaust stack. But when I get ready to cut this, I'll be able to disconnect that and just pull this line out, straight out. It actually does clear these fittings by a little bit. So I'll pull it straight out, and then I'll be able to put it in the lathe. And I won't use the lathe under power to cut those pipe threads in the back of it. I'll just hold it steady in a 5C collet chuck while I manually thread on the back end of it. And that way, if I ever need to remove it, I'll be able to without cutting the copper tube there. I don't think I'll need to take it out very much, but I'm taking my time building this thing, so I might as well engineer a little bit of ease of disassembly into it in case that's ever necessary. So there we have it. There's another look at the sight gauge vent tube again, and the little fittings will end where we began, close up on the fitting. So that's tonight's project, and I will keep you posted. Man, sorry about the fuzzy, but I will keep you posted as we make further progress. Thanks for watching.